The National Football League has many storied franchises who have a history of successful legacies that continue to this day. Names such as the Pittsburgh Steelers, the San Francisco 49ers, the Dallas Cowboys, or the most recent addition to the list for most of the 21st century, the New England Patriots. The NFL is also full of teams who have only scratched the surface of greatness. Out of 32 teams, there is a bevy of them that show consistent progress or potential each year. One such team is the Philadelphia Eagles. For the past 15 to 20 years, they have found themselves either leading or being one of the top contenders in their division in the NFL. Philadelphia is a hard-nosed, passionate, blue-collar city who is known for its grit and toughness even in the worst of tragedies. Philadelphia is also known as a city that will get back up when it is knocked down. Although the city is known for its famous cheesesteak, it could also be called a city of second chances. A city of second chances has made Frank Rizzo one of its most beloved yet controversial mayors. It is home to one of the most iconic rags to riches stories in American film history in the Rocky movie franchise. This city is used to seeing individuals rise from the ashes, much like the ancient Greek mythological character, the Phoenix. In 2009, the Philadelphia Eagles, the city's beloved football team, under the leadership of then head coach Andy Reid and owner Jeffrey Lurie, made a decision that shocked a few and angered many in the city and the nation. In the city of brotherly love, the team signed a man who was probably the most hated football player of all time, Mr. Michael Vick. For the most part, Eagles fans were elated. To many football fans and animal lovers, he was the worst thing and person that ever walked the face of the earth. Many thought that the truest form of punishment would be to have Vick endure much of what he put his dogs through. This set off a dialogue for many years of whether Vick was worthy of a second chance or not. Former coach Andy Reid stated, "I'm a believer that as long as people go through the right process, they deserve a second chance." The negotiation for the initial contract did not come easy. A once promising NFL quarterback wanted to make a return to the game that he loved after serving over 20 months in a federal prison for funding an illegal dogfighting ring. On the opposite end, there is a promising NFL team who already had one of the premier quarterbacks in the league in Donovan McNabb, who was also looking to beef up its quarterback roster. In the end, this deal would be beneficial for both Vick and the Eagles organization, albeit controversial. The goal of any professional athlete, especially football players, whose career can be shortened due to injury, is to get as much guaranteed money as you can up front in order to maintain a family financial legacy for generations to come. On the opposite end, there is the team, whose goal is to make a return on their investment. They want to pay players a decent enough salary, always with the option to extend if the player is successful. Vick had not played professional football in over 2 years, and any team would have found it difficult to pay a large salary to someone who had not played football in that span of time. In this particular negotiation, the Eagles wanted to protect their brand from being tarnished. At the time, Vick was the poster child of inhumanity to animals. As simple as it seems, Michael Vick wanted to make a living again, playing the game that he loved. There were several negotiation techniques used to make this deal come to life. One particular Sports Illustrated article stated that Vick's agent had to haggle at times in order to get a deal that was beneficial for his client. The Eagles, however, were able to separate the person, in this instance Michael Vick, from the problem, his crime and his prison sentence. There were many negative emotions that had come during this time, both from fans and players alike. Prior to this deal being done, the staff at ESPN stated that the NFL head office, Tony Dungy, who was Vick's personal advisor at the time, and the National Humane Society had all been included on the initial discussion of bringing Michael Vick back to the NFL. The technique of mutual benefit and appreciation seemed to be pinnacle means of negotiation for both the Eagles and Vick. They wanted a strong, proven quarterback, and Vick wanted to play with a strong team. The negotiation went well in that all parties were satisfied with the outcome. Vick was first given a 1-year contract, which served as a barometer to gauge how he had transformed his life and if he had learned from his past mistakes. Having satisfied Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Eagles, that he had in fact changed, made the possibility of a return more plausible. Lurie is an avid dog lover who had to be convinced. Due to not having played football in over 2 years, Vick did not get the large contract that he'd been used to. According to Andrew Brandt of MondayMorningQuarterback.com, another item that went wrong is that the Eagles did not want Vick to solely use them to rehab his image. They wanted some assurance that he was going to come to the team because he believed that he could help them win. He had to prove himself again. In August of 2009, the NFL franchise and the disgraced quarterback came to a 1-year agreement that was worth a little over $1 million with a second-year option of over $5 million. This was a major accomplishment for both parties, and a surge of both good and bad outcomes were soon to follow. Although the Eagles ultimately signed a 6-year, $100 million contract with Vick, his second large contract in his NFL career, the long-term relationship did not have an opportunity to flourish. A number of injuries and subpar performances by the one-time NFL phenom led the Eagles to restructure his deal and eventually trade Vick to another team. The Philadelphia Eagles took a chance on someone who was both despised and loved by many. It is without question that Michael Vick was and is a lightning rod when it comes to NFL players. It is also without question that the Philadelphia Eagles, under the leadership of owner Jeffrey Lurie and his coaching staff, are definitely a team who will put aside past indiscretions and negotiate in order to work toward greatness. As a society, there will be many of us who will one day require a second chance. Many may not do the horrific things that Mike Vick did to go to prison. However, many will do things that will not be accepted by family, friends, or society. My hope is that redemption will always hold its place in the heart of a country who has seen many who have risen from the ashes of despair to live out the hopes and the dreams that they have once fought for.